Hello students, in this lecture I am talking about composition of two SHMs. So the first case is where the particle of mass m is under two simple harmonic motions of same frequency and are in the same axis. Let's consider if these two SHMs are in along x-axis, then the two equations can be written as given here x1 and x2, where the frequency omega is same while the amplitude and the initial phase are different. Now because both are on the same axis, so the displacement of the resultant the resultant displacement will be the sum of these two displacement. So the total displacement can be written as x is equal to x1 plus x2, and when we will solve this, then we will get this. Now taking a1 cos phi 1 a2 cos plus a2 cos phi 2 as r cos theta and a1 sin phi 1 plus a2 sin phi 2 is equal to r sin theta, then we can write it as given here x is equal to sin omega t r cos theta cos omega t r sin theta, and then we can put it like this r sin omega t plus theta. So the resultant motion here is of same frequency omega, as you can see here. Amplitude this time is capital R and the initial phase is theta. Now as we are as we have all as we already have r cos theta and r sin theta, so squaring and adding them, we can get this, and then we can have the value of amplitude, and if we divide the two, then we can get the tan theta. So we can get the initial phase of the motion. Now there are some special cases. The first case is when the phase difference of the two is 0 or integral multiple of 2 pi. In this case, if we write it as 2m pi, then m will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. And thus the cos value will always be 1. So when we will put this value in the amplitude formula, then we will get the amplitude like this, and it shows finally that the resultant amplitude is the sum of the two separate two amplitude of the two SHMs. The case 2 is when the phase difference of the two SHMs are odd multiple of pi. It means if we put it phi 1 minus phi 2 is equal to m plus 1 pi, where m is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, then in that case the cos will have the value always minus 1, and in that case the resultant amplitude will be the difference of the amplitudes of the two SHMs. Now if you see here, if A1 is equal to A2, then the amplitude will be 0 because R will be 0. So what does it mean? It means if the two SHMs have the same amplitude but are in opposite phase, then the resultant amplitude will be 0 and the particle will be at rest. Now there is one term which is called Lissaj's figure. So Lissaj's figures are the curve which a particle follows when it is acted upon simultaneously by two SHMs at perpendicular direction. So what means, when a particle is under two SHMs and the two SHMs are in perpendicular direction, then it shows a movement, then it shows a curve which it follows, and that curve is called Lissajous figure. The shape of the curve depends on the ratio of the frequencies, amplitudes, and the relative phase difference of the two SHMs. So now coming to the second case, when the two SHMs of same frequency are applied on a particle in the perpendicular axis. So if a particle of mass m is under two mutually perpendicular SHMs of same frequency along x and y axis, then the two motion can be written as here. Now here A is the amplitude of one SHM, B is the amplitude of another SHM, frequency omega is same, and phi is the phase difference between the two SHMs. So from equation 2 we can write sin omega t and cos omega t, and then we can put these values in equation 1 after expanding, and then we will get this. So after solving as given here, finally we will get this equation. So now coming to some cases. So the first case is when the phase difference is 0 or 2 pi. So in this case cos phi will be 1 and sin phi will be 0. So when we will put these values in the equation which we got in the last slide, then we will get this equation, which is equation of a line, and this line goes through the first and the third quadrant, and the slope will be b upon a. In the second case, when the phase is equal to pi by 4, in this case cos phi and sin phi will have same value equal to 1 by root 2, and then if we will put these values, we will have this equation which represents an oblique ellipse as shown here. In the case 3, when the phi phase difference is pi by 2, in this case the cos phi will be 0 and sin phi will be 1, and then the equation which we will get is the equation of a symmetrical ellipse as shown here. Now if we put a and b equal to each other, in that case the equation will be simplified to a equation of circle as shown here. Case 4, when the phase difference is 3 pi by 4, in this case cos phi will be minus 1 by root 2 and sin phi will be 1 by root 2. In this case again we will have the equation for oblique ellipse, but in the opposite manner to the case of case 2, when the phase was pi by 4. The last case where the phase difference is pi, in this case cos phi will be minus 1 and sin phi will be 0, and then we will again get the equation of a straight line, but in this case this line will go through the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant, and the slope will be minus b upon a. So this is the solution of the problem of lecture 4. So for the first one, the phase angle we can get by this equation as putting the condition omega is equal to p. Now coming to the second question, the amplitude at resonance we can get by the equation by solving this, as I have already told in the last lecture. Now here the one term which is damping factor is given by k by omega, and so when we put everything, then the final equation which you have to use is this equation, where A is equal to F upon 2 mu into damping factor. So damping factor is, amplitude is given here, which is capital F. Then the spring constant is given here, which is mu, and damping factor is 0.25. So using these values you can solve